Welcome back. This is going to be tricky because these all taste amazing, but they are slightly different. I tried to get a comparative sample that had different ripeness levels, but sometimes I couldn't. Like some of these were dried on the tree. I didn't have that in all varieties, and that's okay. I'll just kind of go through this and share my thoughts. My thoughts about Songidolce is it tends to be a darker red early on for some reason than some of the other varieties. It's also a little bit more dense. The first ones that the tree had were a lot smaller, but the ones it's ripening now are a decent size. They're similar to San Miguel, Roxo, and Malta Black. They're not as large as any of these up here, but I'm surprised with them. They are a good bit larger now, and it's not because of caprification, because these ones were not caprified, or at least the two that I tested were not. Conde is awesome. Same thing with Crozes and red Lebanese Baccarat. Those are the three that most likely I'll be keeping. They're larger. They do have a more intense flavor, and they're just spectacular. My trees are very, very healthy, and I like the larger size figs. Whenever they shrivel up and condense down, it turns into something like this. I mean, come on, man. Look at that. And it is amazing. So intensely flavored. It's just excellent. Crozes is, at this point, it's my favorite of all of these. I am not sure even that it is a Mount Etna. It could be, but the shape is a little bit different. They, more often than not, they are this shape, which is not necessarily typical. Red Lebanese Baccarat Valley also tends to do that. Songidolce is also excellent, but overall the tree, they're a little bit smaller. They do have a thicker skin than some of them. Malta Black, same, great, but they're really small. San Miguel Roxo, it's an awesome fig, also known as Azores Dark, excellent fig, but the three across the top seem to have more to offer overall than any of the other supposed Mount Etna types that I have trialed, and most of them I have gotten rid of. I have Norella, San Donato Ginenia, or however you say that, is also a really, really good one. I'm keeping that one too, but it didn't have any ripe today. They'll be ready in about 2 days, but nothing right now. I've already eaten those that were ripe. Okay, let's just jump into this Sangadolce. These are so hard because they're all so good. That is just a classic rich berry flavor, perfectly balanced sweetness, nice and chewy, not leathery at all, just enough chewiness. And when it's condensed down like this and really shrivelly, I mean, they're so good. Just rich berry flavor, nice seed crunch. Let's do this level, San Miguel Roxo. This one is a little juicier. Also it was probably a day less than this. I do notice it's a little bit brighter, a little bit more of a tangy, acidic type of punch to it, and actually not quite as balanced or complex as this. Right now I prefer Songidolce. Malta Black. Great fig. I don't have a lot to say. Also very well balanced. I think I like Sangadolce better. This one was softer. The skin was not as chewy. I do like that. I prefer that about it. But the overall flavor, I think I give slightly to this because it was just a little bit tangier and brighter. Now this is Conde. Sometimes I'm more impressed. Maybe it's because I'm not trialing these all side by side. This time, I wasn't as impressed by that. It seems to be a little bit more watery. Not as intense as Songidolce or Malta Black. So right now, Songidolce is still in the lead. Unfortunately, it's about to be dethroned. I already know that because I've done this so many times. Crozes is freaking amazing. It's just ridiculous. I swear it's like you married Colonel Lippmann's Black Cross with a Mount Etna type, and this is what you get. Softer skin, thicker, jammier texture, more complex. And this version here that's even more ripe, I'll eat that all day long. Oh my gosh. I'm not exaggerating. I know when this was first introduced, there was a lot of skepticism about some of the Thierry varieties or the Figs du Monde, but I had been working directly with Thierry. I'm not sure how you say his name either. I don't speak French. You'll probably hear me say that a million times in these videos. I speak Spanish, a little Italian and Portuguese, but mostly Spanish and English. I asked him about this variety, and he said this was, at the time, he said this was his favorite of the dark-skinned figs. And I'm not going to say it's my favorite overall at this point, but for sure, it's not only my favorite right now, but it's a couple of steps above the rest of these, in my opinion. Red Lebanese typically is a competitor, though. Not today. It's reminding me of Conde. It's more mild and watery. I didn't water the trees, so it's not that. I think it's just whatever you're trying it next to determines how impressed you are. Actually, I'm just gonna go eat another one, a less ripe level. Oh yeah. That was easily a day, at least a day less ripe than the one I just tried over here, and it was still better. There's a lot more flavor, a lot more complexity. Good gracious. At this point, this is different enough in flavor, in texture, in size, in shape. Despite its appearance with the leaves, it's certainly not one that can be confused with other, like a synonym of other Mount Etna types. This is a spectacular variety. Conde, whenever you allow them to ripen all the way to where they're like there's no visible syrup, at that point, those really shine. Unfortunately, I didn't have any like that today. Same thing with Red Lebanese Baccarat. When you allow those to get just prime, shrivelly ripe, they are excellent. Today, the winner is clearly Crozes. Then I would say Songidolce, and these three are tied. And my least favorite was actually Azores Dark today. And least favorite doesn't mean it's bad. You guys got to remember, I've grown more than 30 varieties of Mount Etna types, and those that remain are my favorites among them. So it's still a great fig. You won't be disappointed with any of these. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'd love your feedback, comments, thoughts, whatever you want to hear, you want to learn next, let me know. Until next time.